All right, so the 21 Savage Clubhouse incident. I saw, he's been arguing with people on Clubhouse for months, really, but for the past 2 weeks, he's been going extra hard around people in his, who are around his neighborhood and his upbringing. Because of some information that's been going around about him. But in this most recent interaction that took place like 2 days ago, you know my style. I'm not going to share the video with you guys. You can go check it out. It's everywhere. But yeah, he's basically shouting about how he murders 30 of his enemies every time they say something to him. And that could just be hyperbole. It's neither here nor there. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. But Whack 100 brings up a few good points that I'm not going to throw any accusations around, but it is important as food for thought because we're talking about a gentleman who was found to be an illegal immigrant who was under investigation for those things, and they were making a decision on how they were going to move forward with his citizenship, being that he is a felon, from what I understand. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm incorrect there, that he is a felon. He might even be a multiple felon, who has committed these crimes while he was in the United States. He's sitting on a gun charge from 3 years ago from over 3 years ago that he hasn't been to court for in 3 years as to, make any updates on that. And during conversations where basically I'll lay it out flat. Whack 100 is convinced that he is cooperating with the government there in Atlanta in order to help them with the arrests of other prominent figures in the crime scene of Atlanta. And Whack 100 is convinced that this is actually happening because he has not been to court in 3 years for a gun charge. That's very strange to me from what I know about the legal system. I am not a professional criminal or a gang member or anybody who is frequently arrested in my adult life. So it's been a long time since I personally experienced anything with being incarcerated or the justice system. But I will say, not going to court for a gun charge for 3 years is weird. Especially when you're already facing illegal immigration charges. So, with all of that being said, a person who is in this kind of predicament, whether they're telling or not, you would think would not be involved in situations where they're screaming about how many people them and their friends are murdering, often, frequently, and recently. Any human being, whether they were involved in those kind of situations or not, whether they do that in real life or not, why would you ever publicly, not even on a private like a private phone conversation that still could be tapped and recorded by police, but we're talking about going on to Clubhouse to discuss these kind of things. What is this? To me, I will say that seems like a person who is not afraid of the repercussions or the consequences of what they're talking about. And that's not gangsta. I want you to know this. I'm a civilian, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that it's very gangsta to go out in public. Like, imagine you at the grocery store, and yes, you're not afraid to go to jail. Do you walk through the grocery store talking about how many niggas you killed and how you're not? Pardon me. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that word. Uh-oh. Pardon me. That's not a curse word if I'm black, right, YouTube? I'll let your white algorithmic admins make the decision for me in my blackness, whether that's a curse word. I don't know. But anyways, my point was, you don't go into the grocery store and sit there and say, hey, I'll kill everybody out in here. I'll air this whole place out and I don't care, right? Why? Because some old lady who's afraid for her life might call the cops on you and you get arrested, right? Even though you're not afraid, you're still going to try and probably make a decision that's, least likely to get you arrested or even investigated or draw any attention towards you. Now add pending cases about guns and your legal status as a citizen in a country. Why in the hell would you be like, why would you be moving this way? It's just a little fishy. I am not going to go and readily put a snitch jacket on anybody unless I know for a fact that there are, and there's only a few people that I could do that on. 21 Savage is not one of them. But I can definitely point out suspicious behavior, and this fits the description of suspicious behavior. So let's stay tuned for that one. And yeah, it's an interesting case.